releasing in the new year. Uh, and besides the album and the tracks that we're working on, we're also, we have the Space Seed. Um, as you all might have heard about it. If not, it's minus 104 comma minus 95 are the coordinates. We're actually right across the street from Dollhouse. And so we're planning on doing lots of shows. We do a weekly Friday night show at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I've been wanting to make it possible for people from all over the globe to attend it. So we're planning on doing sets and having performances all the way up until sunrise. And also, I have a little poem that I wrote about Psyriiis. If that's okay, I'd like to read that.
Of course.
Okay, so in an ancient forest that exists in many dimensions, there was a flower that bloomed every 111 years. During the bloom, the flower would emit laser-like vibratory rays of light. All who encountered this moment would soon awaken to the true source of love infinitely. Um, so very soon, I've been planning and making and working on this project, and someday we're going to release it out into the world. And my intention with that project is to kind of like rise up the frequencies of my surroundings and all people that I meet along the way. So we're building lots of stories, and I can't really say too much about it yet, but do expect some fun things coming in the near future. But yeah, I really believe in Decentraland in so many ways. Number one thing I feel that is important for many people to know, if they don't already, is that it is life changing and life saving. The ability to communicate in that virtual space has given myself uh, so many positive experiences connecting with people on a genuine level, just meeting different people from all over the globe, artists, musicians, all kinds of different um, people from all walks of life, has really helped me and inspired me to continue to devote myself to creating art. So um, and I am forever grateful for for this place to be real, even though we are separated by miles and countries. I feel like when we're there, we're all kind of one. Like, we're all as close as we could possibly be in that moment, and sometimes it almost feels like we're closer than if we were to be in real life. Um, so it has been a very spiritual experience for me, and I'm definitely really excited all the time to share it with as many people as I can. Um, yeah, so
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Thank you, Cyrus. And okay, so at the beginning of your introduction, there was something that really caught my ear there. You said 10th generation painter. What? That's crazy.
Yeah, it's it maybe even older. I have a pretty crazy family tree. It's intense. The more I learn about it, the more I'm just completely mind blown. I was born in Istanbul, Turkey, and when I was 5 years old, my family immigrated to the United States. I pretty much grew up in New York City and New Jersey. So I've had an interesting upbringing of kind of like just a lot of interesting things that have come up, especially in my adult years, just learning about my family and
the accent girls in
Turkey. But then I moved here and I'm telling them my story. So yeah, my mom and my grandfather, they would always paint with me when I was a child. And I started oil painting when I was 5 years old. I was like working with a lot of professional art materials that were probably, very important to my mom. So, but I really explored art in so many ways because it was my one outlet. I had to deal with bullying and all kinds of weird issues going to like a new school and being in a new country and having to learn a new language. So art kind of took this place of kind of a, it was as if I was communicating with the universe all at once. And I mean, some people call it God, some people call it like a higher power, but I have so many names for it. But it's always been a very sacred experience for me and has helped me like guide myself through the difficult times. And my mom and my grandfather were obviously really inspiring. Just being around painters as a young child, you get very curious, and yeah, that seed was planted very, very early in my life. It was kind of something that came natural to me. And as I grew, I started learning more different tools. It wasn't just painting. I started doing sculpting and really anything that I could get my hands on. And yeah, now we've kind of brought all of that together into one kind of entity, and that seed kind of represents that. I actually,
Yeah, it would be a good
yeah,
time to transition into seed at the moment. Let's jump in over there and start taking the tour while
yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, so yeah, could you tell us about seed like a little more little deeper in depth than
Yeah,
how we started and kind of like could you speak about any projects that are connected with seed?
for sure. Yeah, so seed became a space in real life. I opened it in 2006. That was a bit before Bitcoin, kind of around MySpace times. I don't think Facebook had existed yet, nor did Twitter at that point. And
Can I mention that I did have a party with my friend named Chloe, and the people were there. This is from my classmates from my school. Mia is one, Ryan is one, Chloe is one, because that was her house. And seed is the best because we were seeds.
we were all seeds.
We had a party in Chloe's room.
Yeah, she had a play date earlier. But yeah, she said it. We all started as a seed. And that's what inspired the space. I had this vision to create a space that was open to all people from all walks of life to come and create together. So it was an art gallery and an event space and very experimental place for lots of people to come and explore different forms of art and studio times and all kinds of different things. We had thousands of events, and it was really such a magical space. And I also really enjoyed being able to provide such a space in downtown Newark, New Jersey. So it when I opened Seed, there weren't many places to go like that in New Jersey at the time. And so we recreated. When Matt and I met, we actually met at Seed a little bit later on.
And you love me, and I love the news. I love Daddy and Mommy, and my dad, and
She's gonna keep going.
I love
Is that
you.
how it happened?
You love me, and
I
we
see.
are best friends. I loved everybody in the space. Who was the robot in the bad river?
This is Major Alpha.
Oh yes. I'm hoping soon she starts leaking the Seed alpha too.
Oh no, that's what I'm afraid of.
Oh no.
So yeah, I mean, I've been just grinding. I go pretty much 24/7 when she's at school, and the space is having Friday night events every Friday, and we're hosting tons of artists from the Web3 community, and pretty much it's open for anybody that wants to become involved. So yeah, that's been really exciting, building that event up. It's been going on for about a month or so now, a little over a month maybe. So yeah, I'm super psyched about that. And the artwork in the gallery that's like there right now is all of my work. And then we have the rooftop where we have the screens on all four walls, and the ceiling and the floor become like the visual area for the shows that we do. And yeah, it's really exciting to share the space with everyone. Mattimus really crushed it, and I had a very specific vision of how I wanted to kind of build it out, and he pretty much made it happen like 150%. It looks even better than the way I visualized it. So I'm super excited to share that with everyone, and hope you can come and stop by sometime. I know you've been there probably already, but anyone who hasn't been, we're very inviting and always open to helping people if anyone ever needs help getting into Decentraland.
Thank you, Cyrus, and I have to say, like, the build is amazing. I'm gonna give my flowers over to Mattimus here. Give him some major compliments on, like, you. There are some nights when you guys host events, and he has the projections up all around, like on the walls all around. I mean, they are amazing, and I have to say that it really like immerses you into the Seed experience.
Yeah, that is a major part of the origin of Seed. And when I first opened Seed, that was something that the first initial thing that I did was I was like, guys, we need a lot of projectors. So I was always experimenting with lights and different, formats and things for the space. But I had a very specific idea to immersify people inside of the art as well as being in the gallery making the art. So that was one really fun thing, just having the visuals on every wall kind of created this environment where you were were and are and can be truly immersed inside of the work that's being projected.
Totally. And Mattimus, okay, question one, how do I smoke on your land?
Press the number 4.
Press the number 4. Do the other numbers do other stuff?
Not yet, but they could if I thought of more stuff to do. But yeah, trying to think of some cool stuff to do with that. Maybe like lasers or I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of like cool, fun games where keep people interested in like doing stuff instead of kind of just like standing around trying to think of more ideas or stuff for people to do.
Yep. So, question about the projections. When it comes to like scene limitations on a one by one, how taxing are the projections for like, yeah.
Um, so for the sake of community and open sourceness, I can give a little alpha on the screens. It's actually a single video stream. And then, I mean, you've seen this effect at a lot of places. Sugar Cup's new screen recently with like the separate panels, the huge hallways at some of the events, the larger events. I think the music festival will have those, and then the one before that. So you can split one single video up into many screens, and it only takes up the video processing resources as if it's a single video. So I use that concept here, and when I'm streaming into the space, I actually have like all the quadrants in OBS are mapped to like a different section of the screen. So depending on what I put in each corner, then it splits it up to all of those.
Holy shit, that's crazy.
Different screens. So with regards to the resource limitations, it's still only as if your computer's processing a single video feed, and it renders it out to the different sides.
Okay, all running off of one device.
Yep, yeah, and then with single stream on my end. If you go up to the top floor, the stream is going, but I think since you were loaded in before I started it, you just have to click the screen 2 times to restart it.
Oh, rug. I rugged myself. I refreshed.
That works too. But yeah, some of the other things. This was the 3rd project for Decentraland that I did, kind of. So I guess I can talk a little bit about that. Like, I was just looking at Etherscan, and I see that I claimed the Metaverse Festival hoodie on October 23rd of 2021. So that was probably my real first entry into the latest version of Decentraland.
That's like my first day on Decentraland ever, dude.
Nice. Yeah. I think probably around the same. But I had known about Decentraland since the Mana token sale. I remember seeing some of the first builder competitions, but it was underwhelming to say the least. And I didn't understand everything about NFTs at the time and how revolutionary it was having the land tokenized and then various things like that. So I kind of didn't really follow it until that huge Metaverse festival, the first music festival, and then it was like, okay, like this is actually cool. You can kind of build here. So then after that, I spent maybe 2 weeks to a month like learning the SDK. I think the first thing that I made for Decentraland was the UFO for the Jack Frost shows at True that beam you up, like if you have a Jack Frost tee or one of the NFTs. And then I remember parkour was starting to get popular at the time. I think I remember Tang Poco even had like a music notes parkour across some baby dolls, but I was just so bad at it that I created like a checkpoint saving script for parkour, so you could save your location. I don't know if you've ever played Counter-Strike, like climbing maps.
Yep.
But it's a very similar concept where you can save your position and scroll back and forth. And I tried to get that out to some people making parkours, but then we learned. I was on your streams a bunch. You were always trying to help me out with land, and then learned a lot about the limitations of Builder and exporting the SDK, and a lot of people use Builder, and then all these crazy limitations, and learned really a lot about building a Decentraland through those beginning escapades, which I'm sure you remember. With people like Art and stuff too, where we're all kind of learning the same stuff. And then after that, I started building the spot. Some unique things here are the materials, like the LED looking strips along the sides actually color change. So that's custom script to change the colors over time. And then obviously the smoking feature, if you press the number 4, which was first created for the 420 show at Zetaplex with Jack Frost, which was a fun community build. We had members of Last Slice in there and a bunch of collaborators on that, so that was really cool.
Yeah, totally. I remember that party. You can jump onto the Scooty Puff Juniors and go up really high.
Yeah, they installed their UFOs there. We had I think it was Time Not Space doing the some of the modeling for the pipes and some of the cool stuff. Kurzaw's had these cool lasers and the leaves, the lights, like the orbs and stuff that were going. So it was a fun, community effort there. And then let's see, yeah, and then obviously the video screens, so I can.
Don't forget the carpet. Don't forget.
Yeah, that was one of the most recent features installed there. Let me so I can put up some different artwork on the different sides.
Let me just stargaze on my carpet real quick.
So now I just added some roof textures and the walls texture, so you should see some images coming in as soon as the stream hits you.
Oh shit.
So yeah, for as far as the visuals go, we use Psyriiis' artwork, which are paintings. Originally were paintings which were scanned, and then we can talk about that after, I guess, kind of what we've done for the NFTs and how we modify the artwork and stuff. But the idea is, using that artwork as base images and then a lot of visual effects software over the top of it to, make it do stuff like this, warping and dancing, color changing, kaleidoscoping, all the cool stuff that you see.
Is this how you fried your GPU?
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. So I have snap camera, so it's processing my camera feed. I have multiple visual softwares that are encoding and sending data to one, which is then decoding it, which is then encoding it again to send it to another one, looping back and forth. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on at one time, and then obviously being in Decentraland, and I'm watching the stream on the screens in Decentraland, so it's decoding it again. So it's definitely a little bit hard on the GPU apparently, but hopefully my new card will handle it a little bit better. But yeah, there's a lot going on as far as programs, and then voice meter doing all the audio routing. I run a second laptop behind me that I DJ off of. I have another desktop to the side of me that sometimes I run videos off of, and I stream those in over the network into my other computer. So there's sometimes over 10, maybe 20 things going at once on multiple computers. So it's a fun time. It's cool to have that much power and stuff, but I guess it gets a little overwhelming for some older cards.
Mm-hmm. So could you tell us what is Mattimus's DJ name?
Well, whenever we perform, we usually do it under Psyriiis. So whether it's me or her performing, or us performing at the same time, that's kind of like the music name we go under.
That's awesome. And I have to kind of jump back to something that Psyriiis had mentioned about wanting to create events from between our dead hours into the sunrise. From sitting in voice calls with you, I have to say those hours seem pretty familiar, and and I have to say, I mean, it's important to have events at those hours, and it will really kind of give us the opportunity to kind of start telling people that operate in those hours that there's something going on the Decentraland. It's not just Wondermine or Knights of Antrim or Exodus. It's you can come here and enjoy some music and meet some people.
Yeah, and we try to consider a global community and people doing stuff in other time zones, and trying to reach other people who maybe come into a dead Decentraland because we're only doing events during a US time block. So
So yeah, spreading it out there. So let's jump over to Cyrus, your artwork. Is your website Psyriiis.com the only location where you can find your art?
Yeah, and then there's also newarkdeed.com, which is a kind of devoted to the clothing and jewelry part of things, and then I also have another website for the fine art part that we're currently updating. So we're going to be reshooting all of my artwork and getting like better high def images, hopefully in the very, very near future. There's a lot to do here, and we're trying to tackle it all, but it does take some time to figure things out. Yeah, so it's all happening. I'm very involved on Twitter as well, so I have been working pretty much around the clock to kind of help build a community that connects and cross-pollinates many projects, many people, and just kind of acts as a vessel for everything that's happening that's good. And also learning about all the other things that might not be so good, so I can warn others if there are any security issues or things that come up that I feel that people need to know. So it's all kind of combined, and there's like a bigger picture to all of this. I do believe that as time goes by, and the spaces are evolving and all of our projects are evolving, I feel like everything will one day be will be tied together seamlessly, and we'll be able to really help guide people that are new to Decentraland, and also provide more events that are happening in Decentraland, and have calendars outside of Decentraland for other platforms across different social media places, etc. Got a little bit off track there. Sorry, she just ran in.
If you go to
I forgot what I was saying. But yeah.
If you go back to the website and go to that individual image page.
This one?
So, and then on the bottom, you actually grab the numbers and then slide it up and down. Now that I'm seeing somebody use the site, I can tell I need to make it more intuitive.
You knew what I was doing. Dang it.
And on the left side, that changes the color. That's the saturation, and then the other one changes the hue.
Holy shit.
So this website is more specifically for like the NFT project, which is kind of like one-of-ones of the artwork. Yeah, just on the one on the left, just like drag it up and down, and it kind of pulses. Really cool. So we do similar effects with the video. This is a tiny fraction of all of her paintings and the artwork that she does have, but these were the first four, and some of the most iconic pieces of hers, I suppose. Root, I think, was one of the first paintings. Sorry, I'm getting distracted here.
No, it wasn't even just the first painting. It was also the history behind it, and just the evolution of the piece throughout many years. They were painted live at concerts and different events across the United States. And so each painting has a very specific energy to it. And I do believe that Root, the one with the red kind of like X in the middle, That specific one is in a music video with Skrillex and Fat Man Scoop and Slink and Natus, which was filmed actually at the gallery in Newark and several other very historical places that are also in downtown Newark. Newark, New Jersey is a very historical city. It was the third oldest city in the entire nation. So it has a lot of history behind it. And the building that I was in was actually from 1680 or so, I believe. It used to be an old horse barn at one point. And I mean, there's so much history. I could write a book about the building that we were in at that time. But yeah, going back to the artwork, it was definitely a long process of painting. I called them living pieces because I continued to paint on them over the span of 20 something years. And, you know, I would just bring specific ones out with me for the night, and oftentimes would bring that and then also a new canvas to start something new on, and then I would just kind of work on all of it at once. Yeah, I really my intention with my art is to bring, you know, kind of like give people a palette of meditation. So I did apply a lot of like in different forms of energy healing, and would surround myself with like crystals and stuff when I was painting. And I had this idea that the sound that I was hearing would transform into light, and then it would come through me onto the canvas. I never really planned out my paintings. They just kind of came out of me. I was kind of just a vessel for it to flow. And I just trusted this feeling in my gut and went with it, and that's where the paintings came from. So it was a lot of fun, and it still is. I mean, my pieces have definitely evolved over the years. I have so much art that no one has seen yet, and I'm very excited to share more stuff with people in exchange.
I love the different contrasts and variations of each piece. Like I notice how like whenever you are kind of like scrolling through on like the left side of things, that's the contrast, correct? Or
the hue.
What was it?
The left side is the cycles through the hues, and then the right side is the saturation amount.
Okay, so as I was cycling through the hues, it was like, you know, there was certain like lines and like brush strokes that you could not see until like you kind of like brought it to the next I guess like the next number up. So I'm having with your a lot of fun with your website right now, actually. I guess my last question about like maybe pertaining in this website before I move over to Newark Seed. Right here, this little box guy, Mattimus, is he like one of your NFT projects, or is this kind of a Psyriiis creation here?
Yeah, so obviously that is the origin of who is called Grobot. So yeah, it's one of the characters from the Psyriiis verse, you could say. And yeah, that was sort of in the huge PFP craze days. That was one of our first ideas, like maybe have, you know, Grobot be a PFP. We have a lot of ideas, technical wise, as far as dynamic NFTs and adding traits and the whole ecosystem of staking and all these crazy concepts, but that's kind of like a whole beast in itself to create that. So that's kind of took a back burner. So maybe one day you'll see Grobot and some of the other characters appear as a more traditional NFT project, but For right now, this first focus was sort of more of a fine art one-of-one series. So what you see in this collection is 51 pieces total, and the way we did it is all the zero tokens are actually a video version that do the color cycling. I don't have those on the website specifically, but they would be available sort of like redeemable on the website after purchasing. So like 0, 10, 20, 30, and 40 would all be like sort of an animated video version. All the ones are like the original coloration, and then through 2 through 9 or whatever are the different color variations, which are at distinct points in the video versions. So the general idea is sort of the zeros are sort of like the most prized and sort of the most expensive. What we did was we actually minted all of these to ourselves, and we just sort of list them and just try to connect one-on-one with people looking to purchase them. And so you kind of see which color you're drawn to, taking in concepts of like color therapy and color healing and things like that. You can kind of get a feel for which one you're drawn to, and then maybe end up collecting that one.
I'm drawn to this one.
Yeah, and obviously we want it to be interactive, the art, so the color changing features. Yeah, that's a very cool colors you got there with the pinks, and I love the blues that come out. So yeah, it's really cool to hands-on with it. You can really feel the connection in your neurons, and like your brain's firing when you're changing the colors, and like feeling yourself change the colors and perceiving the colors, and sort of you get that feedback loop, which is a pretty cool thing.
What kind of got me just now is the blue heart. You know how the heart on the robot is usually
nice.
red?
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, that'll be one of the treats one day, the heart colors. But so yeah, it's meant to also have that interactive aspect to the art, not just kind of be the static images, and allow people to sort of take it their own direction. And if you go to the homepage, it kind of gives a little overview to the whole ecosystem of what we see. So she explained before how they were kind of like the living paintings, and she would travel around and paint them, and now we sort of made them into these color therapy series. But we do obviously run metaverse concerts now. We want to be able to give benefits to any holders, whether it's VIP things. Anyone who's purchased so far has gotten a drop of our wearable, the Root long sleeve sweater. We can touch on that when we look at Nork Seed, because you'll see a very similar looking IRL wearable for that. And then obviously we hope one day to do sort of hybrid events, IRL events, clothing. Anyone who purchases over a reasonable amount, like maybe 0.08 ETH or so, would get a signed print of the artwork. If you want to make a higher bid, we can do digital frames of the artwork. If you want to make a really high bid, we'll get you we can get you an LED screen the size of a 20-foot wall with the artwork on it. So there's a lot of options to purchase it, but also gain like a physical version of the artwork as well, depending on the level of collection, I guess you could say.
That's thank you for going over this part. Pretty excited for the wearable. Definitely will have to find my way into your collection. What is the best way to purchase one of the art pieces?
We usually have a couple listed on OpenSea. If you go into any of the paintings and you click the OpenSea logo, it'll take you out there. And then if you just you don't own any of them, so
a function to do it off the website as well, right? That was something you were talking about, I think.
To purchase it from the site.
I forgot.
I'll see. But yeah, click an OpenSea and then just go to the main collection. Click any of the OpenSea logos, and that'll take you to the page. But yeah, I should have some sort of indicator and maybe more of like a landing page with, hey, these are available, and it comes with this. So we usually have a couple listed for low. We have a couple of medium tier ones, but it's also open anytime to make an offer if you see a color that's not listed that you'd prefer. We're always open to offers as well.
I'll just add this one right here to my cart for 33.
Yeah, go ahead, just grab that one right there.
just hit the sign button. It's okay.
So yeah, some of the special numbers, are higher. So, but yeah, we just put it out there and see what happens.
As soon as I came here, I'm like, one that I really like is here. You guys are gonna take my money, aren't you?
Well, it comes with a lot of stuff. I will ensure you the value will greatly exceed what is spent. But then yeah, if you want to show the clothing line stuff on Norkseed
Yep.
as well, that was sort of a project before any of this Web3 stuff. So I don't know, do you want to talk a little bit about it, Psyriiis, like streetwear and sort of your vision for clothing and stuff?
Yeah, so I also have been really into fashion and streetwear since I was a teenager. I love hoodies, I love sweatshirts and leggings, and I wanted to create like an extension of a lot of the pieces that I personally really love, and make it so that people can wear the art as well. So I've minimized a lot of things. So the designs on the clothing site are there's just so many items to pick from. If you need a fanny pack, we've got one. We have a lot of different things here, so it probably take you several hours to look through the site. But yeah, I mean, I'm always updating and adding new designs. A lot of them are limited edition, so some of them have kind of like sold out or just aren't available anymore. And but I'm always trying to update and find different fabrics and different things to like explore, and also creating new art. So I have a lot of new work that I have yet to bring into the clothing realm. So I'm super excited, and I also really want to make it available to not just for the clothing, but also I'm a connoisseur of gems and minerals and crystals and whatnot. So that's something that I wanted to also put on the website, but we're busy here. We're reshooting everything, so we have to get some new pictures of all the crystals and everything, and that's another thing that we're gonna add at some point. So yeah, and I'm always open for certain types of commissions as far as if you have anything specific that you want to see that isn't there, like maybe something in the gallery. We are working with this new company, and I wanted to make a lot of the clothing sensitive to different light. So that's like a new thing that we're working on now, kind of like I forget what, UV reactive printing. So that's going to be really fun to explore. Yeah, I mean, I I have so many ideas kind of pouring out of me all the time. So I try to take it day by day and tackle as much as I can. We just kind of keep it going.
And the UV reacting clothing that's gonna I believe it's gonna be very big, and I mean it already is, but I think it will bring your projects to the next step, as well as I even see that Nikki Wolf is pretty excited about it. I could also see this towel kind of being UV reactive.
Oh yeah, that's like the one that's like the first UV reactive piece that we have on there, and some of the other pieces do react as well, but the newer paintings and like the newer pieces aren't up yet. But yeah, no, the pieces that I have up there now are also really, really cool as well.
I can also see you bringing a lot of these designs into the Decentraland marketplace.
Yeah, that's like a whole nother level. So we're gonna tie everything together within the ecosystem. Yeah. So, yeah, we're working on tying it all together, creating more wearables, where you can own the NFT and then have like the wearable counterpart, and then also the in real life piece of clothing. So in three different dimensions, you will be able to wear some of these. That's the whole idea.
Okay, so the most awesomest hoodie ever is sold out. I see. Sadness.
Yeah, I can always work on something special for you because we love you, and we can make it happen.
I'll get in contact with you when I'm ready. Then be making some purchases. Yeah, like once again, I just love all the designs on all the clothing, and I mean, your artwork is perfect for clothing. Like this is, I feel like this could be stuff that, like, if more people knew about it, they would be rushing in and trying to get their own.
Yeah, that is one of the hardest parts of doing a little bit of doing a lot of everything. Is a lot of things, projects, or not projects, but a lot of commerce sites or things are focused on marketing a single aspect. So for us, it's been a challenge to pick which part of it do we focus on and market that, and while focusing on the other stuff. So there's definitely a lot going on. So just slow and steady, I guess, is what we try to do, and just build it all up over time, and hopefully reach that tipping point at one point.
Definitely. I mean, there's the best thing you could do is just start. Like, you have an idea, apply it in some way, shape, or form, and then every day work at it at least 1%.
Yep, yeah, we give about 1% to 10 ideas a day these days. So yeah, but it's fun. It keeps us going. It always keeps us stimulated, and yeah, it's been positive so far. So if that sweatshirt that I linked to you, that was sort of the first crossover where I actually sent Josh, our friend SRJH, that picture of the IRO sweatshirt as sort of the inspiration for our first digital wearable, which is titled similar, which is the Root long sleeve. I'm wearing that now in the spot if you want to look at it in Decentraland.
So is Brandon.
Oh.
Brandon's over here rocking it. Oh my god, Josh. Oh my god, Josh, you animal. I have to say, like, one of those one of those community members that I like personally enjoy like watching them grow. It has been Josh, all the way from he and I and few others sitting in penguin chat for like endless hours, just bouncing ideas off of each other, to like what he's like doing now and all the projects he's getting involved in. It's been it's I've had the pleasure of watching it all.
Yeah, we actually met at Odd Jobs Finding Whimsy event. I forget which month that was. Was that maybe April, May? I can't remember. But it was for those that don't know, it was a scavenger hunt where several of the most popular locations at the time put up like a little banner image or some kind of thing on the scene, and you had to go with a partner to each of the locations, take a picture of yourself by the banner, both posted on Twitter with the correct hashtags. So it was a fun little team building exercise. So Odd Job was pairing us up in pairs of twos. So I think it was like maybe 30 or 40 of us that showed up there, and we actually ended up winning the Finding Whimsy event, and we both won the spotlight emotes, which saying that might make some people really jealous, because those are super rare.
Very jealous, considering the fact that my group was second.
Yeah, so we were both pretty good teammates. We stayed focused. We knew a lot of the spots, and then it was down to the wire though, and everyone was in Asian Plaza looking for that final spot. And I remember finding it. We had to go to a very specific realm, and then I think he wasn't in my realm at the time, and we were like jumping around trying to find each other. Then I found him on Discord, and then it was a fun time. So then everyone who participated got the Whimsy flower crowns and a pair of specs. And that was a whole bunch of cool Odd Job wearables. He's a really awesome guy as well. Love what he makes. And then also one of the stipulations was you had to send a wearable from yourself to your partner at the end of the event. So I swear I got his rose petal shoes, which I'm wearing. And that's me. I have a similar style to Brandon right now, but that's me in front of you there. So I have Josh's shoes on, which he sent me. I forget what I sent him. Probably a wearable that you had sent me, which I actually just looked at. And the first wearable that I ever had was the Metaverse hoodie, but the second was the Cupid's hat, which you sent me on March 18th. So I'm on the Ether scan here. So 290 days ago was my first wearable gifted from you.
Dude,
which was kind of cool to see.
What? Like, I remember that night, the first night we met. It was like ice, poker, lounge, rental lounge, or something like that on the rooftop.
Nice. Yeah, I can't remember that detail, but yeah, you gave me that and the Doge helmet, and yeah, I remember my daughter really loved seeing the Doge helmet because we have a Shiba Inu for our dog too, so that was cool. She was like, "Oh, it's Tony in there." But yeah, anyway, so then I sent Josh, the image of the long sleeve. He was like, "This is cool." He was looking to learn at the time and was just looking for cool stuff to make. A couple months later, he just messages me like, "Hey, I got this wearable that I made with the art or whatever," and yeah, it came out pretty cool. He had to do some tweaking to get the image sizes down and do some clever stuff to fit all the texture on there, but yeah, it came out really awesome, really smooth. We did a couple tweaks for the female body size and fixing the rim and stuff, but it was awesome to work with him. And then yeah, but then that was our first wearable release.
Fucking legend. Yeah, freaking thank you for sharing that. Like, dude, it's so fun learning kind of like other people's how they manage to develop what they have going on. I thank you for giving me that like insight of your journey. So here, I think it would be a good time to segue over to the DCL closet. Could you give us any updates on the DCL closet that you've been developing? And if you would like to bring up a screen share, feel free to. Just let me know.
Yeah, hang on. Let me send you a URL.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this was my first experience as a Decentraland DAO grant recipient. Just from, let's see, just from being a Decentraland for however long, maybe about a year, hanging out with a lot of wearables creators, a lot of fashionistas, a lot of wearables collectors, and just sort of observing, a feature that didn't exist, which was the ability to save outfits and change outfits in the game, which may not seem like much to the developers, but for a lot of us that go around to different games, we have, different party sets and different party outfits. It seemed like something that would be, useful enough to be able to create that. I created some initial things with SDK, which was the wearable viewer, where you could click on someone and it'll show you sort of what they were wearing, which was actually another thing that you couldn't really do in Decentraland, which was see what the person was wearing and be able to get to the marketplace. So I learned a lot about the NFT APIs, how to deal with the wearables data from that, and then the closet idea was sort of much bigger than kind of like a weekend project, so that's why I kind of fully scoped it out into a full-on grant project, and I've been working on that for a few months. Do you have the site pulled up?
I do. Yep, I've been playing around with it.
So currently you can connect your wallet and see your whole backpack. On the left side, if you click that show all wearable info on the left bar, the checkbox right above your avatar.
Yep.
Yeah, that'll give you like links to it. So if you're looking for sort of a quick way to get to something in your backpack and you don't want to have to click through like 4 or 5 different clicks on the marketplace, this is an alternative for that. It shows you, sort of your wearables counts and some, stats about stuff. And you can sort of change your outfit just in preview right now. I'm currently working on the outfit saving feature. That'll actually be out in this week's release. Where not that you can change it just yet. I'm still working on that part, but you'll be able to save what you're currently wearing sort of as an outfit preset, and then be able to switch through your different outfits. Maybe send a link to somebody else to be able to see the outfit on them, and sort of the first stages of all the outfit stuff is what's coming next. But right now you can change your outfit. If you uncheck the checkbox again, it makes it a little easier to see all of the things on the left side if you uncheck it. Oh, I forgot there's stream lag.
And then also the feature that you can look up addresses and see their.
Yep. Yeah. So you can paste anyone's backpack address in there. I'll see if that ends up being a final feature, but for now it's good for testing. I like usually in your backpack or Fancy or Gold Guy or DCL Datings, testing all the different stuff, or Canessa's as well. Usually in her backpack. She's good for all the L1 wearables, so it's nice to test with the larger data sets. So that's in there, so you can try on other people's clothes. Right now the searching is like a sort of a filter, so if you know the name of your actual wearable. And then this is what'll be coming in this next week's release, which is the outfits, where you can save a bunch of them and then sort of switch your previews. And then the next phase of it will be to be able to send that data to Decentraland to have it change your outfit in the game. So you'll probably see me ask a question on the next platform AMAs about that, trying to figure that out. But that'll be kind of the final stage of that. So that was the whole vision for that. So on one side, it's more of these social features and the ease of dealing with your backpack and many items and crashing backpacks and all of these things, to at least have an alternative for that. But also, the social aspects of viewing it, checking out other people's stuff. I plan to have features for creators. Something you can't do right now is view an outfit, like multiple pieces of an outfit in preview in the marketplace. So you can here. So a creator who has a full set of, a 3-piece set that they want to show what it looks like on somebody's avatar, they'll be able to make a nice maybe like some kind of a link to here for people to be able to preview it. So just intended to be a way, to have us build out some of those extra cool features that we really want without having to, use foundation time, basically.
Definitely. And I mean, you've made a lot of progress on this closet. I think I remember when you first started the development of it, and like even back then it was like you're like, hey guys, check this out, freaking screen share, and then everyone in the VC will be like, whoa. So I like how like kind of like the closet is becoming smoother, more visually pleasing to see. I'm over here like I can't stop looking at my avatar here. I look pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice and detailed. Yeah, I want to make like sort of like a little photo studio thing where you can change the background colors and sort of get good screenshots and stuff. So outside of just having the outfits and that feature, it's a nice little playground for wearables and having fun with them. Mm-hmm. And it's just cool to see them all at once instead of 10 on a page at a time. You can sort of see your whole backpack and how many of each you got and cool stuff like that.
Yep. And I have to compliment you on how responsive it is. Click, you got it.
Yeah, that was one of the main motivations for keeping it as a separate website, so we don't have to deal with all the limitations of Unity and the renderer and writing all kinds of code. It's a super fast web app written with React and Next.js for the techies out there.
I've actually been in the very, very, very beginning stages of digging into React. I'm hopeless, dude. I'm hopeless.
You start with SDK first. That's a good entryway into JavaScript.
I heard it here first.
But yeah, it's very powerful and very quick and responsive, and makes it easy to work on mobile or not, or and obviously the speed of loading all of that very quickly. And obviously doing that professionally for 10 years, I have a lot of experience knowing how to do everything the right way to make it as fast as possible. So utilizing a lot of that knowledge as well.
So in other words, I know who to ask whenever I'm stuck.
Yeah, totally. I'm always here to help.
I'm just being a little butt. Okay, let's see. This could be a good time to move on to my final question, but of course it's the planned question. We can keep going on for hours with how much I'm learning about you two, but I'll ask. So taking all the knowledge that you've learned in the past year in Web3, what is the vision for yourself, overall, not just for the project, for yourself as an individual moving into 2023? I'll start with Psyriiis and then Mattimus.
Well, 2022 was a lot of me being a sponge out in Twitter, out in Decentraland, and just learning about all the different, just everything. Everything that seemed to be something that was important, whatever my gut instinct told me to listen to. I was always just ears and trying to kind of take in what was going on. as far as the big picture of Web3 and the metaverse and all of the amazing individual elements that bring it all together, all the projects that have been released, all the strategies, all the different people and their missions and their visions, and just kind of sponging it all in. And I feel that 2023 will be the refinement of all of the materials and work that I've worked on my entire life, and kind of like bringing that through a vacuum into a more clear, concise, mapped out version of like the next level of where we're going, and building a community of like-minded people, and finding individuals that really resonate with the mission and vision of Seed, so we can all work together and as one and build something that's bigger than all of us combined. I really feel that in order to really make an impact, we all have to kind of work together and make it possible so that we can take it to that next level. And I do have a major mission in the future. I don't want to say anything yet, but I've always had this, well, I'm going to say it. I've always had this dream of creating an in real life music and arts festival, bringing everything together into one kind of ecosystem of amazingness, if that's even a word.
It
Just
is in my books.
yeah. So I really am excited for all of the amazing possibilities. They're really endless, and so many talented people I've met along the way. And I feel like 2023 is gonna be the it's like the red cloth, and 2023 is like the bull. So we are, we're going straight into the goal post, I guess, metaphorically speaking. Everything written on my vision board, I see being accomplished in this year. Lots of preparation in the previous years for many of these things to kind of manifest and actualize in real time. So I am super excited, to just continue building a strong community, and connecting with more people, and sharing and growing together, and just continuing on this path, this journey, not really focused on the end point or the end goal altogether, but I feel like it's crystallizing more and more as the days go by. Sometimes it seems like it's happening in light speeds, and some days it feels like I have to slow down a little bit and just go lay down in the backyard, and just breathe some oxygen, and then I go back at it, and just keep churning these ideas and these visions into reality, and hopefully in the process inspiring others to do the same, to take the leap, to follow your dreams, to not be afraid. And I feel that if every person in the world followed their dreams and found a way to, connect with that part of themselves, we could change the world very, very quickly. And that is a major goal of mine, like the micro to the macro of humanity as a whole. The origin of Seed was to advance humanity through the marriage of art, technology, music, film, performance, and experience. So it is a continuous kind of movement into the future, which is now.
The future is now. I love it. Thank you, Cyrus, for sharing. I mean, definitely, I see Kanessa over here just loving what you're saying. Josh as well. You really, really, I couldn't have said a lot of those things better myself. So thank you. And how about yourself, Mattimus? What is the vision for 2023?
I guess for me, I'm focused more on the technical aspects of things. So, 2022 was learning a lot of different coding things and NFTs and Decentraland SDK and building Decentraland. So, I mean, I look forward to taking all of that into the next year, doing a couple, hopefully more than a couple, different community events, community builds. I mean, I've been working at Knights of Antrim. That's a pretty fun opportunity to create, a really fun experience in Decentraland and potentially bring in new people there. So I'm really excited, to be able to apply myself there. And hopefully get to create some more NFTs, to be honest. We have a lot of cool ideas for all different, digital aspects and lots of cool things we can do with NFTs. So I hope to get a few NFT collections out there and some D apps and some new fun ways for people to experience the artwork.
Thank you. And as you were talking about, like, kind of expanding, in more into the NFT realm, getting your projects, like, go well, not getting them going, keep pushing them to go forward. Kind of like a small thought popped into my mind for your little robot dude. What was the name of the project again? Growbot. Wow, and it even matches for what I was gonna suggest. Probably, no revolutionary idea. Probably you have already thought of it many times, but I can see Growbot being kind of an NFT that you may offer, and that will provide perhaps maybe even some coding help as utility.
That could be cool, yeah.
Think about it, bro.
Think about it. Some comes with some one-on-one coding sessions. We can do that.
No, I mean, definitely at first start small, because you don't want to just promise people yo, I'll fucking sit with you. But start small with who knows, maybe even provide even some community content that you only provide to your holders. Who knows?
Yeah, and I mean, with smart contracts and the code being, public as well, anything that I create sort of is released into the ether. So, just learning from the coding as well too. I hope some people would get value from that.
I would say that wouldn't be a hope, because I have to say that I feel like people will get value out of that. So.
Yeah, that's big motivator of creating on a big open source platform like Decentraland and Ethereum and stuff. It's fun times.
It's definitely. So that was my final question of the evening. I guess we can turn it around here. And do you have any questions for me?
I can think of a few million questions, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. I would say, what what do you feel for the future of 2023? What are some of your personal kind of goals and uh, visions with Decentraland specifically?
I would have to say for 2023, it's going to be very important for me to form that vision. I need to start having that vision for myself so that I can, push towards it. Like, in a way, working on my why, and and also as well as I guess we can say a little bit of letting go a little, like, because I would say that I have like trouble myself, like delegating work, let's say. So if I could start to possibly let go of some work and focus my attentions on the like other many projects that I have, perhaps I could become a smoother machine in a way. And as well, I mean, definitely want to learn to code this year.
Well, Mattimus he is all about helping people learn. And I watched him learn how to do all this stuff. And, at first, with anything like a seed, you're buried underground and it's dark and you can't really see anything. But then at some point, it cracks open and it comes out of the ground towards the light. And I feel like with every vision or idea that a person can have, it almost acts like very much like a seed. So yeah, fear not. You have Mattimus at your side, and he is such a gift to everything that's going on overall. I have seen him help so many people out here, and we would love to help in any way we can. So we don't have doors, so just what do they call it, ping or something? Ping us. I don't even know. But yeah, join our Discord. We'd love to send you a link if you haven't already.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Drop it in our chat and I'll drop it into the Twitch chat.
Cool. Yeah. I'm super excited to have this one-on-one with you, and I'm really grateful to be included. This is my first interview in Decentraland, so I am full of gratitude and super excited for all the wonderful things we're going to do together. I have a feeling we're going to be doing some interesting things. Very
most definitely. And I'm over here like, what? First interview on Decentraland? I'm honored. And good thing you didn't tell me before. I might have been a little nervous. How did I do?
Oh, no, you're wonderful at this. Definitely do this all the time. I know you do this every Monday night, but I didn't fully understand if this was something that you exclusively did on just Monday nights. But yeah, I would say do this like every day if you can. You're great at it.
If I had the guests lined up, I would totally do it once a day. But I mean, then on the other end, it's like, would too much sinful be a bad thing?
Ooh, I don't know, but I just I was in a space about a week ago with Tower Records, and they were talking about NFTs and music and metaverse and all that. And I actually connected with the saxophonist from Pink Floyd. So we became friends on Twitter. So maybe you could interview him next.
Oh, please.
I've been trying to get him to understand that, Decentraland is, the metaverse isn't going to take over your life and control you or anything. It's a whole nother world, and he's completely new to it. So I am really excited to kind of like bring him into this world. I think he's going to be pretty mind blown. He's really in love with the revolutionary side of everything that we're doing. So I think once he sees Decentraland, it's going to be like, whoa. So yeah, we should put that on the table and make that happen.
Most definitely. Probably after the show, I'll be asking you like, what's his Twitter? How can I connect with him?
Yeah, definitely. I was just searching through my millions of DMs.
Millions and millions of DMs / Discord servers / everything.
Oh my goodness, it's like so intense how many different platforms all at once. But yeah, I mean, I love every bit of it. It's just magical how we're doing all of this. And this is just the beginning. It feels like just really the beginning. But yeah, his name is Scott Page, and he's at I am Scott Page. Scott's with 2 T's. He is actually really big into technology, and he's an entrepreneur, and yeah, he's amazing. So yeah, I'll send you some more of his info.
Yes, please do. And yeah, I'll be hitting him up. Definitely, it's very important to, I understand that a lot of people are kind of like saying that like one of the main goals for Decentraland should be to like bring every platform into one, as in like get to a point where we won't need Discord anymore, we won't need Twitter or Twitch. But in all honesty, I feel like Twitter, Twitch, and Discord are much needed in this ecosystem, especially like right now, when we're growing. Like these Web 2 platforms are very important for our growth and our discoverability. So like I feel like not until we're at like maybe 50 million active users on Decentraland will we get to a point that we won't need these outside sources.
Yeah, no, all of the different platforms have a very specific purpose, and statistics also of like different people, different ages, and everything is the way that it is right now because it's supposed to be. And I know connecting and unifying is definitely the overall goal, to make it all kind of work together a little bit better as time goes by. But yeah, no, I definitely see Twitch and Tumblr and TikTok or Twitter, Facebook, and I mean, I can go on. I'm sure there's tons more. There's also now Web3 platforms like Lens Protocol is one that I've heard about. There's a lot of them that are coming out that are more Web3 focused. So it's interesting how this is all kind of happening, and we're experiencing it in live. Like it's happening as we speak all over the world. There's millions of builders out here. So yeah, I mean, there's so much potential, and yeah, I don't see why we would, remove any platform from the overall, because I have a lot of followers. I built a lot of my community on Facebook originally. Well, it was MySpace and then Facebook. Now I'm trying to bring the whatever 20 something thousand people to come to, add on a whole nother level of these other platforms that we're part of. Yeah, I mean, I think overall it's all perfect as it is,
Definitely.
and it will change, and like all things are transforming.
So,
Can't stop that.
so you had mentioned kind of your following on Facebook. Um, what do you think the efforts are like when it comes to infiltrating the enemy? As in, like, kind of what would you say would be the best method to promote the Decentraland on Facebook? I'm sorry, Meta, um, without getting banned.
Well, my page, I checked today, and it appears that it is doing very well. It says excellent. So I don't have any bans or anything. And I do excessively promote Decentraland and all the events, and also tons of spaces from Twitter that I go to. I do often share it on my pages, um, on Instagram and Facebook as well. And yeah, I just relinked my Tumblr. I kind of forgot about that one, but I just reconnected that. So yeah, I mean, it's been quite the process. I mean, it's been very one-on-one. So at some weeks I lose my voice because I'm just kind of like repeating the same thing. But I do try to get people to go on YouTube and go to certain videos that people have mentioned on Twitter that they've made that are instructional and easier for people. Oh, a deer just walked up to me.
Wait, are you
Anyway.
outside? Hold on.
I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? It's a deer. But yeah, no, he's cool. He's chilling. He's waiting for me to give him some apples. But yeah, no, I definitely, it's a lot of energy goes into it, and I hope to create more content, or work with other people and create some content so we can kind of have like one place to have like the tutorial that's written out, but do it like verbally and visually, kind of like make it happen, so that it's a little bit easier and I don't have to repeat myself so many times. But it's it's a work in progress.
Definitely, and just final comment on that, and like I have to say, I feel like it's a little ironic when like if one day we get to a point where we start seeing Decentraland advertising on Facebook.
Yeah, I was gonna run an ad just for fun, and just for like our Friday night events to kind of like activate Friday night, but I have to work on it, and I'm not very you know I'm not the best at ads and stuff like that. I tend to get like super abstract with ads, so I probably will need some help. But yeah, I mean, if it could be like a team effort, it would definitely be worth. Is that even a deer? Okay. It would be. I'm like, wait, it's
Make
a
sure
little
it's not a
dark out.
bear, or
No, I'm like, it's a deer.
or
Okay.
even worse, like a deer on steroids, an elk.
Yeah, no, these guys, they know me really well. I feed them pretty often. Yeah, no, it would be cool to create some more content and make it a little bit more, just feasible for people. Because the first question people ask is, oh, I can't come. I don't have any goggles. or
Yep.
VR, the VR, I guess you call them goggles or VR, whatever they're called. And I'm like, no, you don't need them.
Isn't it
All
crazy
you
how you
need
blow
is
someone's mind when you tell them, no, you don't need that shit?
I know, and they're like, oh my goodness, this is so exciting. I can't believe it this whole time. I was like, why didn't you just ask? But yeah, no, I've become very kind of like programmed to like make sure I include every single detail, so that I don't miss anything, because like the one thing I miss usually is the reason why they can't get there. So yeah, so if we can kind of like get something together, kind of like a group activation, so we can promote all of the spaces in Decentraland, and create a video to help people get there. That would be really, really cool, I think, overall for everybody involved.
Most definitely. I mean, on my end, whenever you're ready to do that, I'll be ready to help. I love, meeting new people, bringing them into the Central Land, showing them how to get around, just the basics and then, like, I feel like just giving them that experience will unlock the rest of the world for them, because then they start to get curious. And then eventually you see them finding their own way in the Central Land.
Yeah, it's one of the most beautiful things, just seeing like someone frolic through the field. Yeah, and there's just so many new builds coming in that are just absolutely beautiful, that I'm finding out about too. So yeah, I mean, it's a very exciting time, and I'm sure tons more people will be coming with the new Decentraland access to build your own space without owning property. There's like this new thing that they're doing. So yeah, I was hoping to get the word out to more people. I forget what it's called. It's something that they're doing where they're allowing people to create space in Decentraland and making it a little bit more accessible.
That would be NFT, or I mean, not NFT, DCL Worlds.
Right, yeah, with DCL Worlds. Yeah, so that's very, very exciting. And you know, just overall, I'm just very excited. I don't even I don't sound excited right now because I'm like super monotone, but that's because I don't want to be too loud. But yeah, no, I'm super excited, guys. I can't wait to kind of just continue to explore out here.
Most definitely. So let's see. I see that it is 12 a.m. for us at this point. Would you guys perhaps maybe it's a good time to start winding down a little bit? Before we do you have any other questions for me? And if not, perhaps
No, if there's anything that you ever want to do at Seed, or if you just want to become more involved, like let us know, and I would love to work with you and with everyone, really. I love building with a big team. I feel like we can go further together, and just overall have like so many ideas. But yeah, I don't really get a chance to talk to everybody that often, so I hope we do this more often.
Of course, and I have to say, like, I thank you for being more vocal on just all around social media. You've been jumping into the Wednesday community building Twitter spaces, and just getting involved, sharing your experiences. Like, it's very important that individuals get up there and share their experiences, because you never know who's listening in the crowd that you might inspire. So thank you, Psyriiis.
No, thank you. I'm definitely, I definitely really connect with that. And like, I don't know if I mentioned this already, but Decentraland is life saving, especially for the disabled community. And, I work a lot with some people in a group where we get together and we talk and share our experiences and stuff. And it's been really fun telling them about Decentraland and just allowing them to kind of like discover it on their own. For me, it's been very helpful, just overall, with my mental health, and just it's just very inspiring. And yeah, it can really change the your perspective on a lot. And the more creative that you get with it, the more possibilities open up in your mind. And when you change your perception, your perspective changes. So in that sense, Decentraland is very much a life changer, I would say, for many people that haven't even discovered it yet. I see that happening more and more every day.
Most definitely, every single day. I mean, personally, at least, I I can say that I at least come across one new user that can, you know, that has the potential to, you know, just find out about how deep they can go into the central land. What and it doesn't even have to be that like you meet the person today and tomorrow they start building. It's kind of awesome to see how like and I've seen this with a few new users that I meet. Like they come on, they explore, and then kind of like you don't see them for a bit, but then they come back because the central land seed is planted in their mind, and then they create. Usually the second wave, whenever they come in their second wave, that's usually when they go balls deep.
Yeah, totally. It's all about cultivating visionary exploration, and just it's a natural process. It's very I wish I had a word for it. We have to invent a new word, guys.
Most definitely. Okay, Mattimus, any final thoughts before we close out?
The only question I had for you is, when is Mana gonna hit $10?
Not financial advice. If you close your eyes hard enough, you'll start to see some colors. Within those colors, and if you keep it long enough, you might start to see numbers come up, and then you might see your answer there. When next bull run?
Yeah.
The year of the bull.
I
Is it now the year of the bull, or?
I mean, here's like the wonderful part about like the world we're in. It's like we have these currencies that are built on this blockchain that supports these ecosystems, but when you're looking at it from the creator point of view, that doesn't matter. Like you're here to create something bigger than just a mana pump, let's say. So
For sure.
So I'm pretty sure I gave you the politician answer, Mattimus. When to your answer, when mana $10, maybe one day.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to bring politics into this conversation.
Oh.
That's all separate hours of conversation that we could have, but we kept it to NFTs and technology tonight. Yeah, thanks for having us. Thanks for everything you do for Decentraland, and thanks to everyone listening. Yeah, come by on Friday nights in between all the other stuff that's going on. We try to fill out different time slots for interchanges between all the events and have sort of some new people coming in on Friday nights as well. And yeah, I'll see you around.
What time Friday nights?
We usually get going around 8, so I know there's like MetaZoo, so we try to just keep it going through the whole night, and maybe sometimes it pumps at the after hours, maybe sometimes MetaZoo ends early, so we try to keep it open-ended, sort of more like open mic style, where we have a couple of different artists that want to show stuff that night, and then we sort of cycle through it at the most opportune times. So
And so let's say one of our community members is in the crowd and would like to play at Seed that same night. Do you give them the option to, like, if they wanted to jump on and share some music?
Yeah, definitely. We've had a bunch of people with poetry. Clyde gave us a DJ set the other week. So yeah, if you wanted to do anything pre-recorded, I just mix it in through the OBS. Sort of put a set list together with all the material you have for that week. You can message Psyriiis on Twitter, or hop in our Discord, message me on Discord. Yeah, just get in touch. We're open to having anyone who wants to perform be able to show their work.
Thank you, Mattimus. So everyone, remember, Friday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern. That would be 5 p.m. Pacific. Join Mattimus and Psyriiis at Seed, and yeah, and if you're ever looking for like some later hour stuff, like you never know, they'll be there. Actually, we will know they'll be there.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep it so we can, sort of have it on a rotation. So if you don't catch it at this hour, you can kind of catch it at the next hour, or maybe you catch it after hours, after the other stuff. So yeah, we'll be experimenting with different formats to try to make it as accessible as possible.
And I mean, this is the time to experiment. I mean, we're definitely early in the space, so there's like no fault in trying new things. Alrighty, well, thank you, Mattimus and Psyriiis, for joining us tonight. It's been an amazing conversation, and I hope we can have many more in the year to come.
Yeah, definitely. I'll see you on the late night CBD voice chats.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna be there tonight, so if you have any free time, you'll probably see me there.
Yeah, I have some work to catch up on, so.
Thank you, guys. Alrighty, and just a few final shout outs to everyone here. Thank you so much for attending Beyond the NFT. I see currently at Dollhouse we have 24 users on Parcel, as well as 18 viewers on Twitch. Once again, thank you. Much love to you all, and I'm gonna get ready to raid Jambread Music, and at least for Twitch, and DJ Tank Poco will be taking over the Dollhouse stream. Thank you, and take care, everyone.
Wonderful evening.